three major players: the scientists, the farmers, and the policy maker. When they come together, then you can achieve something which you consider to be impossible.
So we have been using GIS and remote sensing for ages in agriculture, fields of agriculture. Now there are new technologies like robotics and drones. How do you see the future heading?
Technology is always advancing. You see, in 1966, with the help of the late Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, I did the first remote sensing study in India. It was the coconut root wilt in Kerala. But we didn't have capacity at that time. We had to go to NASA, National Aeronautical and Space Organization. But from that time onwards, we have developed enormous capacity in the area of remote sensing. We are one of the finest. We have used it for a number of purposes: agriculture, all the forest areas have been mapped, how much forest is disappearing and so on. So, and then new technologies are now emerging which make it much simpler. So long as human mind is working, you will have new technologies, which is safe, which is sustainable, which is relevant. That has to be decided.
How important is geospatial data and technology in your views?
The geospatial data are very important to understand, as I said earlier, in relation to the present land use patterns, what changes they are needed, and how do you manage serious drought and floods and so on. I would not worship a technology. I would use the technology where it is most needed and where it can make a maximum contribution. And here these new technologies are exceedingly important.
How much of a success do you think that India can make by using technology in the field of agriculture?
India has achieved a great success. See, our independence 1947 was born in the backdrop of the Great Bengal famine. And from Bengal famine, 2-3 years ago, our government passed an act of parliament giving a legal right to food. From Bengal famine to food security, legal right of food. It's a very remarkable transformation which has taken place. Both to technology, three major players: the scientists, the farmers, and the policy maker. When they have come together, what we call a green revolution symphony, when they come together, then you can achieve something which you consider to be impossible.
The government of India has recently called for increased collaboration with ISRO in the area of agriculture. Can you elaborate more about what all are we doing with the help of ISRO? What all technologies we are using in India?
Our Prime Minister has been advocating soil health cards to be given to people. That requires a lot of technological knowledge. Similarly, we have to give our water management, watershed harvesting. Even for NREGA, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Program, if we had the help of the technologies like geospatial technologies, the labor could be utilized much better. And so I would say that in relation to our daily needs, or in relation to development needs, or the emerging threats to sustainable development like climate change is an important area. We should use all available technologies.
It's been ages since we had Green Revolution and you were the pioneer. Do you think the time has come with such a massive population that we have for another Green Revolution?
We need a Green Revolution, or an evergreen revolution as I call it, because ecology, I marry ecology with technology to call it evergreen revolution. We need badly, particularly Eastern India. There are areas in our country where there is a large untapped production reservoir. You see, Punjab, Haryana, Western UP had a large untapped production reservoir in the 1960s, which we exploited by the Green Revolution, by providing the necessary inputs. Similarly, if you go from Eastern UP, Bihar, Assam, Orissa, Pashchim Bengal, there's a lot of opportunity there. That is where we need a new green revolution.